What is going on, guys? It is your boy Garrett G Gaming here, and look what's been announced. The Leopard 2 is coming to War Thunder. Of course, not in the form that we all know it as today. I'm talking about the prototype version, of course. This has just been announced. I'm making this as soon as I possibly can to get the word out there as soon as possible. Now, there will be a link to the Devblog in the description below. And the way I'm going to do this video is I'm going to go through all the dev posts first, read out all the information, and then I'm going to talk about some speculation about the tank, maybe a bit of backstory, and what I think the game will go forward with in the future. So let's get started. Leopard 2K, a legend in the making. Once it was clear that the US-German jointly developed MBT-70 project was doomed to fail, German engineers began working on a new MBT design that would incorporate some of the technologies developed for the MBT-70. The result of this was the undertaking and development of the Leopard 2K, of which about a dozen different prototypes were produced. And one of these Leopard 2K versions arrives on the battlefield in the upcoming War Thunder update 1.77. In War Thunder, the Leopard 2K expands the Leopard line in the rank 6 of the German Ground Forces research tree. Although the Leopard 2K was one of many prototypes, we picked the Leopard 2K armed with the 120mm smoothbore Rheinmetall 120mm L44 cannon and a turret-mounted 20mm Rheinmetall 202 cannon because we considered it to be the most interesting and fun for War Thunder players. The Leopard 2K builds on this familiar Leopard formula but goes one step further. One of its standout features is its 120mm smoothbore cannon, which can pierce even the thickest armour found in War Thunder with relative ease. Deadly weaponry backed by a powerful 1500 horsepower engine with a top speed of 70 km per hour. This is a classic Leopard formula. Although Rank 6 vehicles in War Thunder are best known for their advanced armour protection, such as ERA and composite armour, the Leopard 2K relies on a complex combination of multi-layered, highly sloped and relatively thin steel armoured plating. This gives the Leopard 2 comparable armour protection to other Rank 6 vehicles, but with reduced weight. A fully loaded Leopard 2K weighs about 50 tonnes, making it slightly lighter than the MBT-70. Even if the Leopard 2K's armour makes you feel a little less protected, its mobility definitely makes up for the difference. Enemies can't hit what they can't see, and the Leopard 2K's speed and mobility makes it a virtual ghost on the battlefield. By the time you see it and hear the thunder of its 120mm cannon, you're probably already dead. The Leopard 2K joins the top ranks of the German Ground Forces tree in the upcoming War Thunder update 1.77. So now, a bit of afterthought. I'll just pop the screenshots of this beautiful looking tank in the background. I can tell you that this is sort of the beginning of the more modern vehicles coming into War Thunder, and of course Germany won't be the only nation receiving new vehicles like this. Do you remember when the T-64 was announced? I'm pretty sure everyone knew the MBT-70 was coming when that was announced, so don't be surprised if America or any of the other nations get some form of prototype vehicle to supplement their, ground forces tech tree at rank 6. Of course, the Russians could probably just get the T-72 straight up. But I've got some good news anyway. It looks to be like a Leopard will be one of the best tanks in the game again, because this vehicle gets the Rheinmetall 120mm L44 cannon. Now, this gun is incredible. This gun has served on the Abrams and the Leopard 1 with great distinction. It is a combat effective and proven weapon. So this thing firing APFSDS is just going to be absolutely incredible. Combined with this thing's ridiculous mobility, I just can't help but think that the Leopard is going to be the best tank in the game again, except it's going to be a Leopard 2 this time. So most people come to my channel for a bit of history, so you're probably wondering where this thing comes from. I'm about to tell you. Essentially, after the MBT-70 project died with both the US and the Germans pulling out of the project, they decided to go with a couple of prototype tanks, and they were looking for something to supplement and eventually replace the Leopard at the time. It later became the Leopard 1 when this thing was named. So in 1971, they came up with a design, and they named it the Leopard 2, effectively making the Leopard 1. Now, there were two versions initially, the gun-armed Leopard 2K and the Leopard 2 FK. The Leopard 2 FK had a similar weapon to the MBT-70, pretty sure it had the same weapon, whereas the Leopard 2K was gun-armed. In the same year, 1971, they ordered 17 prototypes of this vehicle. but one of them was cancelled, so only 16 were built. The one we have in front of us in the game is the Prototype 11, or Pilot Tank 11, which is what I'm assuming PT stands for. This is the one that fitted with a 120mm gun and a 20mm remotely operated autocannon. This one was also fitted with hydropneumatic suspension based on the MBT-70 design. Now, what's interesting about this variation of the Leopard 2K is that it is fitted with a turret called the Spitzmaus Turm, which is basically German for shrew turret. Now, this turret saved a lot of weight, and it obviously looks very different to the normal Leopard 2 we're used to seeing with that big blocky turret on the front. And that is due to the fact that they wanted to save weight with this vehicle. However, the Yom Kippur War happened over in Israel, or in the Middle East, whatever, and basically, they realised that they needed superior protection than just simple, armour sloping. They needed spaced armour, so that's why the turret was ditched, and then they ended up building a new turret. But of course, this is the prototype, so yeah. Now, personally, I don't even have an MBT-70 yet. In fact, I don't even have a Leopard A1A1 yet, so I doubt that I'll be seeing any of these vehicles anytime soon. However, it makes me excited, because if they're introducing a prototype Leopard 2, what other tank was developed from the MBT-70 and was developed around about the same time as the Leopard 2? What was the other nation? I can't remember. That's right, the United States of America. We can get the Chrysler, or the General Motors, I believe, prototype XM-1 Abrams. If they're introducing... the XM-1 Abrams didn't even have the 120mm gun. The M1 Abrams production version had a 105, but just the armour and the mobility. So, that is what I'm excited for, because this tank not only confirms that the Leopard 2 prototypes are coming, they've essentially paved the way for an Abrams prototype to be in the game, and that tank will be godlike. I think that's enough from me for today. It has been your boy Gary G Gaming, and I'll catch you guys next time. See ya.